To use a Franklin press, double-click on the size that you'd like to use. The machine information property should open up from here. The first tab that I'll show you on this new window is Press. This tab is used to adjust all the information for this press. You can change the name of the press, as well as adjust the minimum and maximum sheet size, as well as the hourly rate in the override rate section. If you have a different machine hourly rate, we have an option here for you to override the rate. Right here it shows you where the Franklin rate would be. If you have a price rate that's different from the same size of press, you could type that in here. Say for example, if you guys charge $60 an hour rather than $71.21, you could type that information right here and it'll override the rate for you. You can also include minimum run charges if they apply. There's also a status bar next to the description here. This will help you to determine if you have an active press or a default press. By putting a check into both boxes for press active and default press, this activates your machine and lists this machine in green font for the presses section of the adjustments window. The next tab over would be the Make Ready Spoilage Sheets tab. This section is here for you to control how many make ready sheets and spoilage you'll have for the press on each difficulty factor. To adjust these, select which difficulty factor you'd like to adjust. Double-clicking on one of the difficulty factors will open up the Make Ready Spoilage Sheet information window. Here you can choose how many sheets you're going to use for Make Ready. There's also an area here for you to change the spoilage percentage to reflect how much spoilage you're planning on having. All the difficulty factors on the left-hand side of the window are active difficulty factors associated with Make Ready and spoilage. All the ones on the right are listed as inactive. The next tab over would be the Plates tab. The plates with the red F in front of them are Franklin rates. To adjust the cost of the plates, double-click on the type of plate that you would like to adjust. This should open up the Plate Properties window. In here you can adjust the number of impressions per plate. You can also override the plate cost at the lower right-hand corner of the window. This window can also be used for you to designate what plate you'd like to have as a default by checking the Default Plate check button. Next, we'll be going over how to set up a user-defined press. To set up a user-defined press, select the New button in the Adjustments window. It's represented by a piece of paper with its corner bent and is located in the top left-hand corner of the Adjustments window. The first tab that you'll see in this window is the Press tab. This works similar to the Press tab in the Franklin machines. Basically, you'd be giving the press a name, a minimum and maximum sheet size, and then giving it an hourly rate. You can list a minimum run charge if you'd like to have one added to the press. There's also an area where you can change the number of printing units that you'd like to have associated with this, as well as you can also list whether this press is active or default by checking the boxes appropriately. From here, the next section we'd have over would be the Make Ready and Spoilage. The Make Ready Spoilage section is used for you to add how many sheets are going to be used for Make Ready, as well as how much percentage you are going to be suspecting for spoilage. Within the Make Ready Spoilage Sheet section, you can individually specify the difficulty factors to reflect the information that you'd like to have them represent by double-clicking on each difficulty factor you'd like to use, filling the information out, and adding it over into the list over here to the left. The next tab over from the Make Ready Spoilage Sheets would be the Plates. This area allows you to create your own plate from scratch. To do so, click onto the Add button, type in the description of the plate you'd like to have, list what type of plate it is, select OK, and then from here you can adjust the information for the plate. You can put in however many number of impressions you're going to get off of this plate, as well as the material cost for the plate. In this case, we could put a cost of $21 here for use of this plate. Once you put your cost of your plate in, you can hit the OK button, where it will add it over here into the screen on the left hand side. Once it's added over here onto the left side, you know that the plate processing has occurred and that is okay to move on. The next tab you'd want to visit would be the Speed tab. Here in the Speed tab, you can control your information properties to tell the program how many sheets per hour you can run on this press with using various types of stock. This would be an area where you'd have to go through and figure out exactly how many sheets you can get out of your machine per hour for thin stock, normal stock, thick stock, extra thick, carbonless, and so forth. You'd place that information into here to reflect a price that you'd like to have given. Once you have your machine information properties listings here for speed, you can move over to the next section, which would be the make ready. This is the area where you would list how many minutes of make ready you're going to have for each individual sheet. You can place your information into this windows, tab off of it to reflect your prices, and it'll give you all your information to the right. The next section over from here would be the wash-up section. This is the area where you can put however many minutes it'll take for you to do a wash-up. And the last section here would be the holding, where you'd want to put all your information that you'd want for how long it would take to do holding. In here you'd be placing your maximum holding time for a work and turn job. Once you're finished here, you can hit the OK button and it'll save your user-defined press into the list here.